So last night, she decides to go and do a town. By the way, kudos to her for doing it, right? Because she needs to do it. Everybody is talking about the fact that she's not out there, but she goes out there. Rob, I don't know which one this is. Is this the one about the wall?
Yes, about the border.
Okay, that's the one I want. I want you to watch this here with the border on how Anderson Cooper pushes her. Go ahead.
2022, 2023, there were record border crossings. Your administration took hundreds of executive actions. It didn't stem the flow. Numbers kept going up. Finally, in 2024, just in June, 3 weeks before the first presidential debate with Joe Biden, you institute executive actions that had a dramatic impact, really shut down people crossing over. Why didn't your administration do that in 2022, 2023?
First of all, you're exactly right, Anderson. And as of today, we have cut the flow of immigration by over half. In fact, the numbers I saw most recently, illegal immigration.
But if it was that easy with that
finish.
executive action, why not do it in 2022, 2023?
Because we were working with Congress and hoping that actually we could have a long-term fix to the problem instead of a short-term fix.
You couldn't have done one and both at the same time?
Well, here's the thing. We have to understand that ultimately this problem is going to be fixed through congressional action.
You know, it's amazing when you listen to her. Yeah. You're like, and he interrupts. You know why people are starting to interrupt as much as they do? Because even Van Jones says this gibberish answers are starting to get annoying. It's way too much. Yeah, the word salad is just starting to get annoying. Give a damn answer. Rob, do you have another clip outside of this one?
Do you have the David Axelrod response where he
do.
said word salad?
So I have a word salad clip, and then we'll play David Axelrod.
Oh, go ahead, Rob.
Can't wait.
I'm ready for lunch.
Might ask, you've been in the White House for 4 years. You were vice president, not the president. But why wasn't any of that done for the last 4 years?
Well, there was a lot that was done, but there's more to do, Anderson. And I'm pointing out things that need to be done that haven't been done, but need to be done.
She just said done 5
Time
times.
out. Was that a joke? Hold on. Was that an edited funny clip?
No, she's
That's
actually
really what
being
she just
serious.
said.
She said that. But actually,
No, Rob,
let's listen to that answer one more time, Rob. I'm actually inspired by it. Can you play that one more time?
Wow.
Oh, I thought you guys did a funny clip.
No, play that one more time.
Some voters might ask, you've been in the White House for 4 years. You were vice president, not the president. But why wasn't any of that done for the last 4 years?
Well, there was a lot that was done, but there's more to do, Anderson. And I'm pointing out things that need to be done that haven't been done, but need to be done.
What?
Wow.
It's like the movie when she's like, I'm just going to make it do what it do, baby.
Yeah,
I mean,
what is...
You know what?
What did Axelrod say?
This is, here it comes.
Oh, my God.
I love this.
The things that would concern me is when she doesn't want to answer a question, her habit is to kind of go to word salad city, and she did that on a couple of answers. One was on Israel. Anderson asked a direct question, would you be stronger on Israel than Trump? And there was a 7-minute answer, but none of it related to the question he was asking. And so, you know, on certain questions like that, on immigration, I thought she missed an opportunity because she would acknowledge no concerns about any of the administration's policies. And that's a mistake. Sometimes you have to concede things, and she didn't concede much. But I'll tell you something. John King mentioned Bill Clinton. No one's going to be Bill Clinton, but you do want to relate to the people in front of you. She didn't do a lot of that. She didn't ask them questions. She didn't address them particularly. So she was giving set pieces too much.
Tom.
There you go. Well, first of all, there were 3 mistakes that she made. The first was she was talking. The second mistake that she made is she didn't have specific things to say. And the third mistake that apparently they made, they've been controlling the mainstream media and they've been controlling the narrative. For instance, last weekend, do you remember when every news outlet, somehow all their editors used the word testy in every single headline or subhead with her.
Yeah.
Testy, 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 testy. It was almost like they got them. Remember, the word of the day is testy. And so the media is not locked in on here. And if you listen to what David Axelrod said, you listen to multiple media says it's almost like there's whispers out there that people are thinking that this election is slipping away right now, and everybody is sort of running toward objectivity so that later they can get jobs at the midterm election as, election analysts and strategists. People have to remember, People like Axelrod, Pat, they want big money jobs in 2022 for midterm elections.
2022 or 2026?
2026. I'm sorry, because 2022 is last midterm. The same way they did in 22. Sorry about that. That's what they want. They want those jobs. So how do you get a job? By being infinitely wrong here and defending her and going off the cliff with her? Because she's not a senator anymore. Walz, they're gone. When they lose, and I'm saying when they lose, they go to the same heaven that the dinosaurs went to. It's over for them politically. You'll never see them again.
Yep.
But all these people that have been strategists and folks, they need a job in 2026. And so you can't get a job if you had zero objectivity. And I'm seeing objectivity come out with Anderson Cooper. I'm seeing objectivity coming out with David Axelrod. I'm seeing objectivity coming out with Poilievre. Complete objectivity? No. But are you seeing the same blind support that they had on August 1st? Hell no.
Let me ask you this, though, Tom. Like, for somebody to answer like this, let's just say I'm your campaign strategist, okay, behind closed doors. And Trump said something when I had him on the podcast. He said, you know, I could have chosen not to go to the Bloomberg event, one, and then the market would have said he's scared. I could have chosen to get killed and go, and I would have gotten killed and I would have lost. Or I could chose to go actually fight. And I chose to go and fight, right? But even his answer means what? That sometimes you're going to lose when you go to a certain debate. Nobody is undefeated ever in the history of debates. Nobody.
Or it's a weird or bad form because he said
Obama's not undefeated. Nobody is undefeated, right?
Yeah.
But here's the point. The point I'm trying to make to you is there is something about people giving you feedback and role-playing the way to answer questions. Do you think that's her? Or do you think that's her handler saying, answer it this way?
I think 20 years of her political history have proven that regardless of who her strategist is, she is not particularly adept at the ad hoc or extemporaneous talk. She's not. She doesn't pull things out to hit home runs. There's been accusations that she's had an earpiece in her ear. There's a lot of things that have happened here that she just is not it. And I think it's her. Whereas Bill Clinton, if you gave him 3 facts, he would give you an answer that related to the people. He would roll in those facts. And you gave Reagan 3 facts, an answer that related to the people, and he would roll in the facts. There are strategists back there that are giving her facts, but she's just not doing it.
Yeah. Rob, play this clip, and then I'm going to go to Vinny. Play this next clip. Watch this one here, folks. This is about, have you ever made any mistakes?
Is there something you can point to in your life, political life, or in your life in the last 4 years that you think is a mistake that you have learned from?
I mean, I've made many mistakes. And they range from, you know, if you've ever parented a child, you know you make lots of mistakes too. In my role as vice president, I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues, and I think that is very important. It's a mistake not to be well versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question.
Is there something you...
What was the answer?
I don't know. There actually wasn't an answer. It's like, what did you mess up? She's like, it doesn't make. But here's the thing. Let me ask you guys a question. And I know we're not surprised, but I don't like the fact that Van Jones, Tom, and all these people are surprised. Okay, of Kamala Harris. Let's not forget how we got here. Okay, we got here because the assassination attempt on Trump failed. Okay, he killed Biden in the debate. The plan was get Trump out. Biden just, even though after the debate, allegedly, of course, yes, allegedly, right. If this was a movie, that would have been, the plan failed. So now she just has to get put up there, okay? And then when she talked about the border and how it's so, now it's closed, yeah, because you already got the 20 million in that you need. So we shut that down. But I love the fact that they have to pretend. Pat, the Democrats have gotten to pretend that they like her. They have to pretend like she's had policies. They have to pretend that they like her. And let's be honest, guys. If I was still drinking, Pat, I'd drink with her. I'd have a good time. But no, I'm being dead serious. She seems like a fun. I mean, the laughing would get to me. But I mean, it's at the point where the jig is up. He has to do these questions, Tom, Pat. With Anderson Cooper, Tom, their reputation is on the line at this point.
You just used a great word. The word is pretend.
Yeah.
And you're correct with all of those. I completely line up with the Angry Patriot on this. They pretended.
Yeah.
And now Van Jones has to publicly pretend he's surprised.
Exactly.
Now they have to pretend they're surprised.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bottle of tequila, George Clooney, USC cheerleader. There's only one outcome. They knew exactly what was going on here. They knew exactly where it was as soon as she got out at public and started talking about it, because they were talked into believing that there is a viable candidate there. Do you remember it took 2.5 weeks to declare who the candidate was going to be?
Yeah. Yeah.
And finally they said, well, okay, it's going to be Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
It's going to be Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And then when it was out in public, you saw cracks in the underneath, because they tried to cover the cracks in the foundation. What did they do for 28 days? She didn't. How many days was it that she didn't have an interview?
About a month.
And she had 98% positive press from the media. And so everyone, and then at the end of it, what did the media start doing? Hey, she hasn't done an interview. Where's the interview? And they were called out. And now Van Jones has to publicly.
Did you see the Van Jones clip?
Pretend he's surprised.
Exactly.
Yo, did you see the clip? Have you seen it?
I did not see the one last night, but I've seen the one from a week ago.
Rob, play this clip, and I'm going to go.
Oh my! Oh gosh! Wow.
So here's a clip of Van Jones. This is, I think it's right after last night's town hall. Go ahead.
She was a co-host.
She passed that test. I think that the word salad stuff gets on my nerves. I think that some of the evasions are not necessary. But when she's talking about trying to get you a house, I believe her. She passed.
I believe her. Adam, do you believe she wants you to finally get a house?
Sure, whatever. I think, look, we're 12 days from an election. In my humble opinion, the future is looking very bright for Donald J. Trump. And there's a few words that come to mind. And one of the words that comes to mind, PBD, I don't know if you know this word, because English is your sixth language, but there's a word called juxtaposition. You know what that means? Juxtaposition is when you compare and contrast two separate entities and you say, take a look at this, right? And you put it, kind of contrast them close together. When Trump was compared to Obama from a personality and character perspective, it was quite shocking. You had Obama, forget about policies, from a character personality perspective. You look at Obama, smooth, great talker. It's like, whoa, here's this guy that comes in. But Trump wasn't basically, beckoned to come to run for president because he was a typical politician, is because he was a literal disruptor who basically was a middle finger to the system. So that's what Trump is. Conversely, when you juxtapose Trump versus a Biden or a Kamala, you start to think that they now become way more inept. And Tom kind of made a joke that, she's wrong when she's talking. But the reality is he's right. The more she talks and the more that America gets to know her, the worse her poll numbers are. It's pretty intense. And the fact that she had this sugar high, the reality is after the sugar high, if you eat too much sugar, you start to develop cavities. And America's developing cavities the more she talks. So they're like, hey, listen, maybe you should eat some salad. Unfortunately, there's a lot of too much word salad coming out of her mouth. But this is, unfortunately, this may be a little controversial, the result of genuinely going with a DEI candidate, not a MEI, merit, excellence, intelligence candidate. And now, when you start to see Van Jones even criticizing her, David Axelrod criticizing her, Dana Bash criticizing her, CNN's finest, when you're 10, 12 days away from election, when everybody should be unifying behind their candidate and they're basically talking trash, the future is not looking bright for Kamala Harris.
But you know what? That's all on them. Then they should have done, because Biden got 14 million votes. That whole switcheroo that they did, that's what they deserve. And you saw Biden at the funeral, at Kennedy's funeral, where he's talking to Obama and he's looking mad at him and he's like, I'm stronger than her. Biden, by the way, it would have been way closer because even though Biden...
No. It wouldn't have been way closer.
You don't think so? Wait, are you crazy? No. They would have kept him away from the media. What do you mean? They were protecting him for 4 years.
If it was Biden, after that debate performance, with his mental...
You really better than her? Hold on. He wouldn't be better than her right now? Right now, you don't think he'd be closer?
No, I'm not advocating for Kamala.
No, I know you're not.
Both of you guys. Go back to your point, Adam. Let me just say a thing. Words talk, numbers scream.
Yeah.
From July 1st to July 21st. That was the day of the debate, right?
Her numbers skyrocketed.
Says Trump had one of the greatest momentum roles in opponent candidate, not incumbent candidate, in opponent candidate history. And then when Biden went out for the debate, then the polls went over the waterfall. It was moving like this. You saw states moving. Remember, we're all talking about this.
Yeah.
And then he goes out to that debate, and what happens? It goes all over the waterfall.
Yeah.
And so those numbers were horrifying.
Yes.
And they knew it.
But I want to show you something. Rob, I want to show you something. Do you have the link I sent you? Okay. This is very, very telling data. CNN. This guy does a great job, by the way.
Harry Enton.
He talks about the independent vote. Watch this.
Okay.
Rob, play. It's 27 seconds. Watch this.
Center of the electorate. You go last time around, Joe Biden won these voters by 11 points. You look at September of 2024, a month ago, Kamala Harris was up 5 points among independents.
Watch this.
You look now, though, look at this.
That's it. Well, watch
She's only
this.
up
Watch
by
what
2
happens.
points among a key bloc center of the electorate, down 9 points from Biden was at the end of the 2020 campaign.
This next
Of course,
thing she
This is
says.
a national
One more,
picture. This is a national
and he's going to show the 15.
What is going on in those key battleground states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, the Great Lakes, that blue wall, right? Joe Biden last time around won him by 5 points over Donald Trump. Look at where we are today. This is the type of movement Donald Trump likes to see in the center of the electorate.
Wait for it.
Up by a point. Now, of course, that's well within any margin of error, right? But again, it's the movement. It's the trends, Mr. Berman, that we're looking at. And when you flip a group from going +5 Biden to now +1 Trump, that's the type of movement Donald Trump loves to see, and it's the type of movement that I think gives Democrats some agita.
And you saw it nationally. You see it in the blue wall states there. What do we know about candidates who have won or lost independents in the past?
Yeah, are independents determinative of who wins the election? Usually the way independents go, so goes the nation. So candidates who won independents in elections since 1952, look at this. Won independents, won the election 15, lost the election despite winning independents, just 3. So it is possible to lose independents and win the election. But the bottom line is that's only happened 3 times. It was Nixon in 68, it was Ford in 76, and it was Kerry in 2004. Normally when you win independents, John, it's a very good sign for your chances to win the election.
Do we have any sense among the people who are identifying as independents now what they're saying or how they're feeling or why we're seeing this?
Yeah, why are we seeing this movement in the electorate, perhaps away from the Democrats towards Donald Trump? And this is true overall. This is true among independents as well.
That's embarrassing.
View is too liberal, right? Are you out of the mainstream, perhaps? 38% said that of Joe Biden back in 2020. Now that number is up to 48% for Kamala Harris versus the 40% or so who see Trump as too conservative. The bottom line is Harris may be a little bit too out of the mainstream, at least compared to Donald Trump when we're talking ideologically speaking.
Look at the trends. They are pointing
That
in a
is
direction
the
when it
worst
comes to
clip to be seen or shown on CNN.
On CNN.
13 days before the election. That's 13 days.
They've had this stuff on many of the pollsters, like ABC will sponsor polls with Washington Post. And then they will sit on those polls for 7 days while they're running another poll, hoping that the next poll shows her getting a little momentum versus the old poll. And they're sitting on it. Guess what? There's no time to sit. The gig is up, and they're out public with it, PBD. He's speaking the truth. I respect this guy.
Yeah.
No, I understand. Tom, how much has changed on... Rob, can you go to vtnews.ai? Folks, you can yourself on your computer go to vtnews.ai and check this throughout the day. Every time it updates on our website, and just go to the right where it says elections, right there. Zoom in. So right now, even Stephen, but go to the battleground.
By the way, the national base we're showing in the last averages is tied. Normally, the Democrats win the popular vote
by 2 points.
By 2
1.5
points.
points.
Exactly right.
So go to battleground, go to Arizona, still the same. Wall Street Journal's got Harris. Go to Georgia, see if anything's changed. Sweep. Go to Michigan.
Georgia's gotten redder. Go back to Georgia.
Yeah, it got redder. Exactly.
Yes, it did.
And by the way, look at the
6.
collection. Insider Advantage, liberal poll. Quinnipiac, liberal poll. Emerson, liberal poll. Trafalgar, very accurate and tends to lean right.
Shoot. Go to Michigan. Okay. Go to Nevada. Go to Carolina.
Dude, he's winning all of them.
Go to Pennsylvania.
What?
Go to Wisconsin.
Let's go, baby.
Everything is within the margin of error, and Wisconsin and Michigan are hanging by a thread on the margin of error, but they shouldn't even be close with those unions and the typical voting bloc.
By the way, on election night, which, by the way, the super VIP tickets sold out, the elite tickets sold out. There's a few left for VIP and a premium before those sold out. And then there's just the general. But there's going to be 7 food trucks here. Chick-fil-A is going to be here. We're going to have 2 fighter jets on the freaking campus. It's going to be sick.
I'm going to fly one.
There are so many surprises for election night, which I cannot wait. But think about it this way. On election night, Tom, we're going to have the decision. We're going to have the decision desk with Tom that's going to show you by the second what's going to happen to. He showed it to you yesterday. How sick was it?
Tom Kornacki over here is about to kill the game.
Okay,
it's going to be incredible.
It's going to be fun. But the point is that if based on what you were saying yesterday, if Trump wins Georgia and Pennsylvania, this thing is over by 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I will tell you this, and by the way, Pat, thank you for making Pat has, just like VT News AI, you heard about the 50 AI engineers and the machine learning engineers that we got. PBD, thank you for making the investment, because you're giving me the tool to go even further than we've been doing with our Decision 2024 every Thursday. That's here on Valuetainment. We are going to be able to give you stats that I'm going to argue better and faster than the mainstream channels. And we're going to be talking about it, where you'll be able to see the podcast going for 6 hours, and we're giving you state calls, data in the background, the stuff you want. And by the way, unlike the news, you'll be able to do super chats and tell us what you want to see. And PBD may see one of those super chats and said, you know what? Let's dive into that data. Let's go to Iowa.
Yeah. And can I thank him really fast too, Pat? Thank you for having me at Valuetainment, because right now the support that I'm doing towards Trump and outspoken, I couldn't do in LA. I was shunned by everybody. I had to hide my support. I couldn't go to certain comedy shows. None of that happened. Here, I could do whatever I want. I could say, and notice how the shift that the people that could never have spoken up and said, yeah, I support this guy. Now it's out in the open because you can't hide anymore. And I appreciate you for having me here, Pat, because now it's a wrap, because he's winning everywhere right now. So unless something crazy happens, October surprise, Donald Trump's going to be the next president of the United States.
Real quick, and fully agree with the thank yous. In honor of the BizDoc, words talk, numbers scream. People are saying, everyone's saying that Trump is going to win this election. And it's not just the average people out there on the streets. It's not just the black guys who are not breaking for Kamala. It's not just the liberals who are basically over the woke stuff and the moderates and the independents. It's Wall Street. It's the pollsters. It's the big banks. It's people on CNN. And my question to my friends out there, the blue no matter who crowd, is, what are you guys going to do if and when Trump gets elected? We all saw what happened in 2016 with those guys. We all saw that. So I just kind of want to give my friends a heads up. Start preparing yourself for this.
It's not going to be the same as 2016.
I agree. But let me say one last thing. Here's what I've experienced. You talk about this, Vinny, because people have seen my evolution.
I want to go to the next story, so go for it.
People have seen my evolution, and they're like, oh my God. Here's what I've experienced. Random people who I don't know on the internet talking trash about me because I'm at least perceived as to the left. I don't know these people. I don't really care. Twitter finger is all you want. What I've also experienced is people I know that I've known my whole life, that I've been friends with my whole life. Out of the last 6 months, they're like, who in the hell have you become? You're just part of this cult now, right? I don't even know you anymore. Here's the reality. I'm the same moderate, reasonable person who's looking at, again, juxtaposition candidates and saying, almost like being an umpire, balls and strikes, I don't like that. I don't like that. Agree with that. Agree with this. And the reality is, if you're the blue no matter who crowd and you can't even wrap your head around, oh my God, how they're voting for this guy, it's going to happen. And just start preparing for that and start asking questions rather than telling people how they should operate. And that's the biggest thing I see.
Yeah, I think the difference between 2024 and 2016 is the following. It's very different. 2016, nobody, including the Trump family, thought they were going to win. They worked hard with the plan of winning, but everywhere, on every poll, on every Vegas, everything was, she's winning by a landslide. And then he won. And so the irritation, the fear, the anxiety was so high. 2024, it's not going to be that way. I actually think when I tell you, typically when you do business planning, the most people wait till last week of December and they do some New Year resolution bullshit. But the real people start a quarter before, 2 quarters before for next year, budgeting, all this other stuff. The guys that know the game like Van Jones, the guys that are in it, in their mind, they're 80% were done. This girl is not good. Yeah, I'm being asked at Mar-a-Lago, what was it, 2 nights ago, whatever the event was, by all these other journalists and whatever they're asking. I said, listen, if there was a primary, Kamala Harris would have lost to Josh Shapiro. Mm-hmm. She would have lost to Pritzker. She would have lost to Whitmer. She would have lost to Newsom. All of those 4 are better candidates for the Democratic Party than she is. She is a horrible candidate to be a president. Not personal life. I've never broke bread. Boring, repetitive, not inspirational, tough to listen to, incredibly difficult laugh. There's just way too many things that's not attractive, that's not marketable about her. And they're paying a price for it right now. The big game starts this Friday. The series starts this Friday. And here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get a suite to take family and friends and to give you the chance to join me as well as us here, my family and other friends, in the suite for Game 5 in New York, which is amazing, right?
Yes.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. And here's what we're going to be doing. By the way, just so you know, the details on what these things are going for right now, it's ridiculous, the tickets. But all I'm saying is we sat down, we decided, here's what I want to do. So what do we do about it? We created a sweepstake. And the winner gets the 1 ticket plus $2,500 cash for your flight, room, whatever you need to be doing to come join. By the way, it's going to be epic.
Wow.
Because it's going to be sick. It is Game 5. So, who knows what's going to be taking place. The streets of New York are going to be wild. And the way you participate in this is the following. For every $1 spent on VT merch store, today you get an entry. For every $1 spent, you get 1 entry. $100, 100 entries. $500, you buy 5 of these polo shirts. This is all I'm wearing nowadays. Say it's $500, 500 entries. And you get up to 1,000 entries. Wow. We will draw 1 random this Saturday morning, October 26th, and we will immediately notify the winner. Then next Tuesday on the podcast, we'll announce who it is. But the person that wins, we will reach out to you. I'm excited about that. A couple things I do want to tell you. It just so happens 15 new hats are here today.
So there's something to buy.
This is the sickest new Valuetainment green hat. Future Looks Bright that just came out. It's absolutely amazing. Valuetainment. We have these new for some folks that like this design. We have the new American flag.
Sick.
Adam, this one. Yeah, this is absolutely sick.
This one looks amazing.
We have 15 new designs, some for military, the red and black. We have the new allegedly hats where the allegedly lifts.
Sick.
We have the red American flag, green USA flag. By the way, a bunch are on VT merch, and all you need to, by the way, these are again memories because the last time this happened was 1981. All you need to do is go purchase merch for every $1 raffle, gifts for yourself, for others. Some of you guys that are coming to the party anyways, November 5th, this could be your way of doing it as well.
Wow.
Tom, do you have anything else to say before, if I missed anything?
We have the legal stuff.
Go for it. Tell us.
Tom Ellsworth impersonating Don Pardo. The PBD Podcast 2024 Baseball Sweepstakes. No purchase is necessary. It's sponsored by Valuetainment LLC and open only to legal residents of the 50 U.S. states and the District of Columbia who are 18 years old and above. The entry deadline is tomorrow night, Friday, October 25th at 11:59 p.m. For the full entry and full rules, visit the link at vtmerch.com and available in the description for this episode of the podcast that is found on the PBD Podcast channel on YouTube. Void where prohibited. Go get in.
I love it. Okay, Rob, so let's put the link there to go to vtmerch.com. I hope you participate. I want to spend some time with you. We're going to have a good time.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.